Rejection, abandonment, humiliation, betrayal, and injustice are all forms of emotional wounding. They manifest during childhood and can have lasting effects on your adult life. What if your past wounds are repeating themselves with your children? How can you heal them and prevent them from impacting your family life? In this article, discover the signs that will allow you to recognize a wound and find solutions to overcome it.
Emotional suffering is a consequence of a negative experience you had in your past. Generally, this pain develops during childhood, and you only become aware of its existence in adulthood. There are 5 emotional wounds: fear of abandonment, rejection wound, feelings of injustice, betrayal pain, and humiliation wound. These childhood wounds can take shape from birth until around the age of 7. They can leave lasting effects in your adult life, such as emotional and attachment disorders. For example, the pain of a past wound can make it difficult to trust others and to establish healthy, lasting relationships. Subconsciously, you may feel that no one treats you well and that evil is everywhere. Furthermore, people affected by emotional wounds may feel insecure and have low self-esteem. This is linked to their traumatic life experiences that have left their mark. Recognizing an emotional wound can be a real challenge if you haven't identified the source of your emotional suffering. To help you determine if you're suffering from a past wound, we present all the signs that point to recognizing the 5 core emotional wounds. Recognizing the fear of abandonment. The wound of abandonment is linked to the absence of a parent or close relative, causing the child to feel insecure due to a disrupted attachment. Sign number 1, feeling inadequate. A person who has experienced this past wound feels inadequate. They tend to question themselves frequently whenever someone leaves and abandons them. For example, this suffering is reflected in your romantic and professional relationships. You feel that you could be abandoned or even rejected at any moment. This manifests as a lack of self-confidence, as you tend to underestimate yourself. Sign number 2, difficulty managing emotional relationships. Abandonment syndrome can manifest as intense anxiety known as fear of abandonment. You experience strong emotions linked to past traumas, and this can make it difficult to maintain healthy relationships. For example, if you are unable to control your emotions, they can impact your relationships, leading to arguments, overreactions, or even the fear of losing the person you love. Sign number 3, emotional dependency. Fear of abandonment can also lead to a form of emotional dependency on others. The lack of affection you experienced during your childhood, whether due to the absence of a parent or close relative, can make you dependent on others. For example, out of fear of facing loneliness, you create a dependency on others, whether it be your partner or a friend. Identifying the wound of rejection. This type of emotional wound corresponds to feeling rejected, belittled, or excluded by a person or group of people. Sign number 1, the social mask. The first sign of a wound of non-recognition is the social mask. The person suffering wears a mask to escape reality. For example, a person might develop a strategy to belong to a social group. They will then modify their behavior so that people will like and appreciate them. Sign number 2, emotional immaturity. Furthermore, to recognize a wound of the soul, and more specifically a wound of rejection, emotional immaturity can be a revealing sign. This means that the person suffering will continue to function emotionally like a child. This is the case for people who suffer from Peter Pan syndrome. They adopt childlike behaviors in an adult body due to poor emotional development during their childhood. Sign number 3, the feeling of emotional emptiness. The feeling of emotional emptiness can also be a sign of the rejection wound. This is characterized by the feeling of not being loved enough. The person suffering rejects themselves and fails to realize that someone could love them. You will then modify your behavior to be loved by others, for example, by being overly attentive to your partner. Recognizing the wound of injustice within yourself. The wound of injustice manifests as a result of an overly authoritarian, harsh, or even toxic environment for a child. Sign number 1. Resentment towards oneself and others. A psychological wound can cause resentment, which manifests as inner anger. If you feel threatened or wronged, resentment can take root more easily. Resentment can transform into uncontrollable anger, which can lead to violence within a relationship. Sign number 2. Repressing your feelings. In your relationship, you tend not to show your feelings and love for someone. You then project a cold and distant persona. Your sex life can then be impacted, particularly with a lack of libido. Sign number 3. Striving for perfection. If you are affected by a sense of injustice, you will strive for excellence and have high standards for yourself and others. Your pursuit of perfection leads you to intensely reflect before embarking on anything. In the moment, you find it difficult to act or speak, but with hindsight and a moment of reflection, you realize what you should have said. Recognizing the wound of betrayal. The pain of betrayal is recognized by emotional distress linked to the fear of being betrayed, deceived, or abandoned. Sign number 1. A need for control. A person suffering from the wound of betrayal feels the need to control everything. In their personal, family, or professional life, they feel the need to anticipate things in order to cope and leave no room for the unexpected. This stems from the fear of being betrayed or hurt. Sign number 2. Fear of commitment. A person who has experienced betrayal may fear commitment. For example, if you have been the victim of adultery by your spouse, you have felt betrayed and may now be afraid to commit to a new relationship. You experience stress or even anxiety at the idea of fully investing yourself in a romantic relationship. Sign number 3. A demanding person. If you have been betrayed, you may be more demanding of yourself, but also of others. You don't allow room for error to avoid being disappointed again. Identifying the humiliation wound. This childhood wound is characterized by an intense and constant fear of being belittled, denigrated, or judged by others. Sign 1. The feeling of not being loved. If you experienced one or more humiliations during your childhood, you may now feel unloved. Your self-esteem has been impacted by these humiliations. You now have a poor self-image. This is one of the signs of a humiliation wound. Sign 2. Wanting to please others. Furthermore, you tend to want to please others even at the expense of your own needs. Your generosity towards others is remarkable, but you sometimes neglect yourself and fail to take proper care of yourself. Through this behavior, you seek to please others and receive the love you don't give yourself. Sign 3. Fear of judgment. The slightest glance directed at you makes you feel anxious. Your past trauma brings back bad memories. This is what is called reactivated traumatic memory. This anxiety about the judgment of others can create social anxiety. An emotional wound can stem from various sources, depending on your experiences and the lasting effects they have had. Discover 4 causes that can lead to emotional pain. Cause number 1, family. One of the main causes of emotional distress is related to family. These wounds often originate in your childhood and are frequently linked to your parents, relatives, and upbringing. First, you may have lived in a toxic family that constantly criticized you for not doing things well enough. Your parents may have adopted the be perfect mindset, repeating phrases like, "You have to be top of your class," "You didn't do well," "Keep doing it until it's perfect." These phrases may have caused emotional suffering, particularly a sense of injustice. Second, you may have experienced a feeling of betrayal if your parents announced their separation. Separations are sometimes experienced as traumatic for children and can leave lasting effects in their adult lives. Parental abandonment is also a cause of childhood trauma. Indeed, if you were abandoned by your father or mother during your childhood, you may be emotionally affected and experience psychological consequences throughout your life.
Cause number 2, teasing. The second cause of childhood trauma involves teasing. For example, if you were teased at school or constantly compared to others, this can create a lasting wound. Whether from your family, friends, or teachers, you may have felt judged during your childhood. For instance, this past pain can resurface at school when your homework is handed in last because you have the lowest grade, or when your classmates laugh at a wrong answer. You may have developed a fear of going to school as a child because of this judgment. Today, you may still experience these negative memories in your professional life. For example, patterns from your childhood can be repeated in your job if you are a victim of harassment. Cause number 3, childhood trauma. The third origin of a past wound echoes a trauma experienced during your childhood. Sexual abuse, violence, or manipulation may have marked your childhood and left lasting scars. For example, a child sexually abused by a relative has experienced trauma that they may find difficult to overcome. These past actions can have consequences today, such as a fear of commitment. See also how to identify and treat childhood depression. Cause number 4, lack of affection. A lack of affection can also give rise to a childhood wound. If you didn't feel loved as a child, it may have caused emotional dysfunction. Today, you may develop a dependency on your partner because you need to feel loved. Furthermore, the lack of love you suffered during your childhood may have lowered your self-esteem. How to heal from emotional wounds. As we saw earlier, these 5 life wounds can be debilitating in your daily life. To free yourself from these traces of the past, there are solutions that will help you heal them. Solution number 1. Accepting your wounds. To overcome past pain, it is essential that you accept your wounds and become aware of them. This awareness is the first step toward healing. To help you with this process, you can consult a psychologist. They will help you identify the childhood suffering that weighs on your daily life today. They will guide you through this process of becoming aware in order to better understand how your past wounds interfere with your adult life. They will be able to direct you towards the most effective psychotherapy based on your situation. For example, cognitive behavioral therapy will help you understand the behaviors you adopt because of your wound. It will also shed light on the avoidance strategies you've used to cope with your emotions. With this understanding and the help of your therapist, you can adopt new behaviors that are more in line with your adult life. Art therapy can also be a good way to heal from your suffering. This therapy will, in a way, serve as a mediator, allowing you to express feelings you can't verbally. This will involve artistic techniques such as music, writing, dance, or visual arts. Solution number 2. Forgive yourself and others. Next, to heal from an emotional wound, you will need to learn to forgive yourself and others. For example, if you were a victim of injustice at the hands of your family during your childhood, you may have accumulated resentment and anger towards your parents. To overcome this life wound, you will need to go through a phase of acceptance that will allow you to become aware of what you experienced and realize that you are not responsible. To overcome the pain that weighs on your daily life, forgiving your parents is also essential. Indeed, your parents may have acted this way because they projected their own wounds onto you. Forgiveness does not mean that you will accept the acts you suffered. It means that you accept that the person erred because they acted based on their own past suffering. This step will help you put yourself in the shoes of those you consider responsible for your childhood wounds, so you don't repeat the same pattern in your adult life. Solution number 3. Learn to love yourself. Depending on the hardships you've experienced, you may have lost your self-confidence, self-esteem, and self-love. To overcome this, learning to love yourself is essential.
To address this, you can use the mirror method. This technique helps restore self-esteem by boosting the effects of positive thinking. The first step is to let go of the past and rediscover your self-love. To do this, each time you pass in front of the mirror for a week, you can say aloud to yourself, "I love you," or "I accept you as you are." With practice, you will become increasingly comfortable with the exercise. This first step allows you to recognize your successes. In the second step, you will address your inner child. This step will help you identify your wounds and heal them by reassuring your inner child so they no longer feel fear or anger. By understanding this child you see in the mirror, you will soothe your emotions. The final step of this mirror technique is to find the path to your inner peace. To do this, you will repeat the 2 previous steps each day in front of your mirror. This step will help you manage your emotions and live more serenely, with gratitude and in harmony with yourself.
Solution number 4, healing your trauma. The fourth solution for healing emotional wounds is to heal your traumas. EMDR therapy will help your brain better process the psychological traumas linked to your childhood wounds through mental visualization techniques and sensory stimulation. Unprocessed traumatic experiences become blocked and cause problems such as post-traumatic stress, depression, phobias, or frequent anxiety. In your adult life, this blocked trauma can manifest as traumatic memories that are reactivated when you're confronted with your wound. EMDR therapy will therefore help you to reduce the symptoms of post-traumatic stress, increase self-confidence, let go of past traumas.
An emotional wound is unique to each individual, shaped by their childhood experiences. There are 5 main types of emotional wounds: rejection, abandonment, injustice, humiliation, and betrayal. These wounds are recognizable through signs and symptoms that manifest throughout adulthood. To prevent these wounds from impacting your daily life and to avoid repeating past patterns with your family, it is essential to identify and acknowledge them. The causes can be numerous, as your suffering may have originated within your family, but also during your schooling. Healing from an emotional wound is possible by becoming aware of your pain. The support of a therapist can be beneficial in recognizing a wound and guiding you toward healing.